to shake the airs alive. Under Friday skies we thrive. Small town roar cracks the night. Underneath these autumn lights, dreams are born and take their flight. Big plays, big hearts, Tennessee calls. Small town legends under the falls. The crisp headlines, but the passion's fire. High school glory, our one desire.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to get some jump on here, give a little preview of what the playoffs are going to look like. Show the brackets, talk about everything going on. As many of you know, I had surgery back on October 13th. I apologize that I haven't gotten any content out since that time. There's going to be some changes going forward. I'm going to have a new co-host. Proud to announce that Mr. Jay Henson, the play-by-play announcer over at Perry County High School, has agreed to be my co-host going forward. Absolutely love that. I think he's a perfect fit because he knows the game and he has a voice and knowledge of how to do some of this stuff. I appreciate him jumping on here. But today on this first video back, I wanted to preview the Class 1A playoffs, give a little bit of a discussion about what I think about this. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with the brackets. It's pretty cool. This is the eastern side of the bracket. What I've done, I've gone through, I divided it up in the eastern half and the western half. This is the eastern half. So you'll notice there's some good teams in here. I'm guessing the probable state champion is going to come from the East. That's just my personal belief. But there's some really good teams in here. But along with that, there's some really, really bad teams in here. Once I show both of the brackets, give some thoughts on a couple of these games, I'll get into what I think about Class 1A. It's crazy. But it looks like, you know, you got South Pittsburgh down here. They are an annual favorite to get into the Blue Cross Bowl every single year. What we saw with them, they started the year 0-1, and people were thinking, there might be some chinks in the armor. But they quickly righted that. They're on a 9-game winning streak. They're hosting their playoff game. They won their region. They're the number 1 seed out of Region 3. They are 9-1, and the prohibitive favorite to win the Blue Cross Bowl and win the state title. I don't know that there's any team in the East that would challenge that status. I know Clay County is very good, but I don't know if they're physical enough to play with South Pittsburgh. Up here in the upper half, of course, you got Hampton. Then you got Sale Creek. Sale Creek was the number 2 team in Region 3. They finished second behind South Pittsburgh. And yes, Sale Creek is 9-1. They look like a contender, but when they went and played South Pittsburgh, that game wasn't even close. So that just gives you an idea how good South Pittsburgh is. They're going to be a problem. So over in the western side, some really good teams. You notice up here, Region 5, number 1, Richland won that region. Started out kind of rocky early in the season with 2 early losses. They've righted the ship. They were a preseason top 5 school. I think they have a good chance to possibly make their way into the quarterfinals, and maybe even if things go right, I could see them and McKenzie in the quarterfinals playing each other. That's going to be a really good, fun matchup to look forward to. Down here in the bottom half, you have to think that either Memphis Middle College or Dresden are going to be the favorites. I would actually venture to say that Memphis Middle College is probably going to come out of this bottom half and take on the winner, which on appearances, just looking at it, looks like it's going to be like Richland or McKenzie. South Fulton could find their way in there as well. So, but what I wanted to talk about in Class A, the part that really, really bothers me. Let's go back here to the first bracket over on the eastern side. Come down here to this South Pittsburgh game. They're hosting Red Boiling Springs. Folks, that's a problem. I think the TSSAA should be embarrassed by this. They have set it up in Region 4. There are only 4 teams in that region, right? That's inexcusable. It doesn't matter what your record is in Region 4. You're getting in the state playoffs. And I'm just here to tell you that any team that ever goes winless does not belong in a state playoff game. They just don't. You look up here at region number 4, the number 3 seed out of that region. That's Robertson Innovation. They're 2-8. I mean, come on, man. These teams do not belong in these playoffs. I don't know what TSSAA has got to do. I want to give some thoughts on that. I actually think the TSSAA needs to go back and reevaluate things. I think 6 classes is too many. I think they need to go back to 5 classes and combine 1A and, you could take the lower populated schools in 2A and put them down in 1A and make 1A much better than what it is currently. Currently, out of 32 teams in Class 1A playoffs, 12 of them have records of 5-5 or less or worse. That's just not okay. A team with a losing record should not be in the playoffs. That's my opinion. You can agree with it or not. But TSSAA could go back and fix this, drop a class, start combining some of these other classes, make them better, make them more competitive, and see what we got. But I wanted to get on here and do this today because due to weather on Friday, a lot of these playoff games are being moved to tonight, which is Thursday. And I didn't want to sit around and not do any content before the playoffs started. I need to get this stuff out here. Like I said, I had surgery on October 13th. I had spinal fusion done. I had 3 spacers placed in my neck and then the bracket to hold it in place. I do have metal in my neck now, but my recovery is going great. Don't want you to worry about that. The recovery has been fantastic. I'm ahead of schedule, and it's time to start getting content back out there, start getting this Spot the Ball podcast going again. I don't know. I may have a surprise for you later on. We may cross over into basketball later on. I'm not sure how that would look or how it would work. There's some discussions on the table. I don't want to go through the whole season of football, get some following built up, get some stuff going, and then let it sit for a long time without anything. So I'm considering doing, I'm going to call it a Spot the Ball podcast, continue to call it the same thing, but maybe put a focus on basketball going forward. We'll see how that works. But I wanted to get this out there, let you know what's going on with me, why you haven't seen content from me, and give you some previews on these playoffs games. There's your Class A preview. I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that South Pittsburgh wins Class 1A. I think the best contender to beat them would be McKenzie over in the West. And that should be a fun game up in Cookeville. If McKenzie makes it there and South Pittsburgh both makes it there, that should be a very, very good contest. I would love to see that. I'm off work until January 13th due to my recovery. And it's possible that Spot the Ball podcast might try to get up there to Cookeville and catch some of these state championship games. That would be an ideal situation for me. I'll let you know how it goes. And for now, enjoy the first round. I'll be back on Sunday to cover the results of the first round and preview the second round. Jay Henson will be joining me on that show. I look forward to seeing you. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the playoffs. Get out and support some of these teams and cheer for your favorite team to win. Even if Red Boiling Springs is your favorite team, go cheer for them, man. Regardless if they're winless, they have an opportunity to pull one of the biggest upsets you'll ever see in the state playoffs. Go cheer for them. I mean, they're there. You might as well cheer for them, right? Love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. That's my Class A preview. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the playoffs, and we'll see you Sunday.
This is a dangerous